So Jake, you know, what we'll do next, we've done a load of jumping and stuff like that. We'll do starts now, okay? So what I want to see is get you right out the gate and, you know, really give it some when you get out.
Give it some beans.
Yeah, I mean, that's the sort of thing you'd normally do, isn't it?
Yeah.
Really? Yeah.
Just drop the clutch and give it some helmet.
So that's it. So, yeah. So
that's all in,
hello.
that's in that technique. Seriously, you know, you get on the start gate and...
Don't you give it beans?
And you just give it a big handful and the old girl just picks up and away you go.
Well, I was going to get Jake sort of drop it in first and, you know, slowly release the clutch and slowly increase the revs.
Not being funny, you know, he's whole shot at the few Grand Prix, you know, that's nothing to me, is it?
Well, what have you done then?
To be honest with you, this film's about Jake, isn't it? You know, they've got me to wear the t-shirt, you know, film crew, just as soon as they come here, you know, it's, I'll demonstrate later on.
Right, so what sort of technique do you use then?
Basically, that's all in that.
So what's that right hand doing?
That right hand just works.
Is that the beam control? Is
that's
it just
the control. You just got that. You see, that's you. That's you. Together.
So helmet and beans together.
Yeah. Let that go, and she goes. That's the way to do it.
So have you got any sort of special techniques with your bike then? You know, this is obviously Jake's got a great bike here then, but you know, what's your bike like?
My bike is similar to this. Obviously, this is I had this 10 years ago. My bike has developed, you know, a lot from a lot of top secret stuff that's been sort of found sort of locally in Rendlesham Forest and stuff like that, from like the alien landings in the 80s. We sort of built the sort of frame out of meteorite dust and stuff like that. Yeah, that's totally different.
You need to explain how it's easier for you to start, because like obviously I have the tapered bars, so I sit up front and sort of get my sort of head and everything over the bars like that. Yeah, but like the way you do it, you're sort of in the middle of the seat, and because you've got such a big head, like the handlebars are sort of like that, and you can get your head sort of over there. Basically, and you don't even use a whole shot device, do you? That's almost like cheap.
That is actually true, to be honest with you. Jake has picked up on something there that, you know, he obviously observes, watches the master.
That is pretty much cheating.
That is, well, I don't know.
I mean, you don't have one of them whole shot devices, do you? You just get your old Swede over there.
One time in one of the GPs that I was racing, there is a rule that no one's load in front of the gate, and effectively my head was in front of it, and I actually had to get moved back 5 metres. But not being funny, that made no difference. My head was over the front mudguard, keeping the weight down. Obviously, whole shot it still there. Yeah.
But I mean, other people, like there's obviously other people that with big heads in racing as well, but they can't quite get it because I mean, because you've got like such skinny legs, like it's sort of like the weight ratio sort of just mixes around the bike. That's other people sort of like Deruva can do it, but he hasn't got a big head, you see, because he's got legs like your legs are like his, so they're nice and small. You know what I mean? But where the weight mixes nicely. Do you know what I mean?
That's true. That's very true. You've got to have a perfect combination, you know, sort of head. I actually went into an oxygen tank to make my head bigger, to actually put for racing. Done it obviously because that's very important. Made me head bigger, kept me legs small. Top half obviously stayed bigger just to sort of stay strong. So pretty much my head do most of the work while riding. You know, obviously in balancing the jumps as well as thinking. You've got to think while riding. There's no good just going out there, is there? Wondering what's about. You've got to use the head, big brain. Yeah, weight forward, all over.
How did you keep your legs small though? That's what I want to know.
Yeah, well basically you wrap them in cling film.
Did you use a Zim frame, didn't you? Instead of walking,
basically I wrapped my legs in cling film, iced them, and spent 4 years like that.
Yeah.
You know, as a kid.
That's the sort of commitment you need, though, isn't it?
Not being funny, if you want to get anywhere in motocross, that's just sweat, blood, and tears, and a lot of them. That's all I can say. I used to cry every night. Yeah. One day I'll be the whole shot king, and I am.
And what about when you shave? Because obviously you've got a different technique of shaving, because like you could miss a fair bit there. Does that sort of like does that come into it?
Yeah. That's, you know, not being funny, that's all part of it. Like you just have like your helmet and the wind cuts straight through, that causes drag. These hairs here just direct the air basically down to your body, keeps it cool.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
All right, well, we'll crack on with some riding then, will we? Looks like we found a new star for the film. Thanks for that.
Basically, yeah, let's get on it. Do I get a chair?
Red hats on your head now, isn't it?
Do I get a chair? There you go. Tailor-made.